Hello there. I got sick, so I'm not supposed to work. That's what my wife said, because I'm sick. So I was like, alright, I won't do any work, but I can't just sit here. So let's go through the process of kind of what I do to make a game. I just want to show people how easy it is. If you're like, I want to make games, especially 3D ones, but you're like, it's too hard. I just want to show you how easy it is. So let's see what we can do. So here's just a real simple low poly vampire dude model that I made for this game. I got hired to make some players and actually do their AI and all that stuff. So we want to bring this guy into Unity. We want to make him like an AI character to like wander around and chase our player. How about that, huh? Okay. Well, firstly, actually, let's do this standard so we can see everything in one screen. Alright. So we have this character who is just one mesh, right? So here's a bunch of different pieces and I just combine them. So we want to add joints to him and rig him up, which, you know, I've done that for years for my movies and stuff, and I know how to do it, but I hate doing it. It's really boring. So if we can, let's automate the process. So let me show you a little trick. So we're going to export this dude as an FBX, and just to keep it simple, I'll put him on the desktop. Let's just call him count, and no, not in there. Oops. Let's just call him guy. Alright, guy, come on. Okay, now this is asking us what we want to send out. I don't even want the textures, or I'll put him on there. We just want the normals. If he had animation, he doesn't, because he's not even rigged yet. So we just want that, right? Okay. So one thing I found on this here internet is there's this site, company called Mixamo, that sells motion capture stuff. So they want you to buy their motion capture clips. But as part of that, they have this free auto rigger where you can upload characters and it'll rig it for you. So that's what we want to use, because we don't want to mess with rigging. So let's go sign up. And Guy Badman, and you can just use a throwaway email for this. Let's see. Will be Guy Badman. Okay, here's our email address, Guy Badman. Because the way this service works, they let you do one auto rig for free, and then they charge you like 50 bucks, which it's kind of expensive. If it was like a couple bucks, you know, that would be pretty good. But I guess they're going for the big money or whatever. So yeah, you have to make like a throwaway account. So if you want to do it more than once. So then we just go in here and yes, activate, and then you just have to fill out this little thing. Country, United States, where should we be? Colorado, we're in Denver, we're high as a kite, motherfucker. I'm a bad man. I work in that. I'm using Unity, Unreal, and my emotion builder. Yeah, totally. Okay, collect that data. So now we're in here, right? So we have this rig thing, auto rig, and this will work not just for games, but if you just want to rig your characters to animate them for your whatever projects, this is all the same. So let's go desktop, grab our guy. Okay, now it's importing him, and it's going to check him out. And okay, that is correct. That's him. So then all you have to do is just tells you what to do. So we got to place one on his chin. Why does he look asymmetrical? Uh-oh. Well, hopefully it works anyway. On his wrists, on his elbows, or about there. And you can test this too. It lets you test it out to see if it's right. On his knees, maybe there. I don't know. And on his groin. Okay, and I'm going to say I don't want fingers because his hands are not to be used, whatever. So we just go next, and hopefully it will set him up and make a move correctly. So this is something like you can do it in Cinema 4D. It's pretty easy. They have like a character object where you can do it, and there's some free tutorials to show you how. But like I said, I've done this so many times, and if you just want a normal like biped rig, it's like I'd rather just run it through this auto thing and have it be done. And the rig, the file that this spits out, like works perfectly with Unity. It's like made for Unity. And there's other options too, you know, for your 3D programs. So come on, Vampire Man. Come on. Oh, it looks like, but you know, you want to go check his run to make sure. But he looks okay, guys. Yes, he does. So then we go finish and download it. So yes, Express checkout, and I'm gonna say I want FBX for Unity, but see, it has all these different options. So if you're using Blender, whatever, any other program, one of these will work for you. So we have that, and then we go download, and then we get this guy FBX, which now we can bring this into the Unity and it will just work. So let's go import asset guy. Let's get this dude in here. I should have checked his scale first, but I did not. Okay, it looks okay. So the important thing you have to do here is that you have to define the rig. So we click on it here, and so under rig, so if it's a normal biped and you used a standard joint system, like the thing about that Mixamo, it automatically sets up your character with the joint system that works with Unity's humanoid rig. So that makes things really smooth, because there's all these other animations and stuff that you can get for free or buy them that use the humanoid setup. So when you use the humanoid, so it will change from generic to humanoid, and then go apply. So that means that all those clips will work with this file now. So he doesn't have any animations on him. But so now this dude is ready to go. So ready to go where, you say? Well, let's go. I think actually if we go back to Mixamo, I don't know if it'll let me download animations too. Let's see. Animation collection, because there's some free animations in here too. So I thought there was a zombie one, like a zombie walk. Let's see. Gangnam Style walking jump. Here we go. This zombie walk. So let's see if we can get this one. And you can animate this by hand too, if you were, you know, some kind of animator. I don't know any of those people. I don't know how to do that. So let's say we want this walk in place. Download. Can I download, please? Can I? Let me select format for Unity. Walking, download. Okay, cool. So we can still take these. We can get the motions. We can only download one rig character. So if we go back to the Unity and we go import asset, downloads, guy walking. So now we can use this on this dude. But first, I forgot, we have to make an animation controller. This just allows the animation system to work with this dude. So we get that and put it on him, and that goes right here. See, controller. And because what that is, let's open up the animator window. So this controls the Mechanim, which is Unity's nonlinear animation system. And this is where we will grab, so this is the one for that guy. This is his controller. And then we want walking. So this is his default state. It's the first one we put on here. And we're only going to have one for this dude. We're going to keep it simple. So let's put let's put a floor in here. Just a plane. And let's make it 20 by 20. And let's put a light, because if you don't put any kind of light in here, usually you can't see anything. It's super dark. So let's just go do that, just so we can see what's going on here. And so if I press play to preview the game, or yeah, it's not much of a game yet, but I just want to show you. Now we have this dude, and he's walking, but he's not looping because we have to set that to loop right here. I do that, animations, walking, loop time, apply. Okay, there we go. Now this dude is looping. Okay, so we have this person here walking around, and we have a plane, And I guess the feature I'm going to show you, the way I'm going to do this, is using the nav mesh, which is with Unity Pro. So the free version is free, of course. Pro version is not. So I'm using the Pro version, which makes it a lot easier. But there are ways to do similar stuff using the free version, but I'm going to do it the easiest way possible, which is this way. I just want to show you what is possible. So now we have this guy who we want to, let's say, be our enemy, right? So this guy is our enemy. And let's go ahead and put a nav mesh agent on him. And I think I need to put a capsule collider on him too, maybe. Let's move this up. I don't know if you can hear in the background, there's like some Bondoc concert across the street. They had lots of cowbell earlier. So now we have a collider and his nav mesh agent. So this doesn't do anything by default, like nothing's going to happen right now. But first, let's get a player in here, right? Like someone for this guy to chase. So let's go find, let me just save this incremental. Who do we want for our player? Let's go look in my content browser. Let me put it over here just in case it has explicit material and there's children watching. I mean, you know, it's not like you can't see animals having sex with underage animals upside down in zero gravity, but still, you know, I try to take precautions. So to keep things simple, I would want another rig or character that's set up using the humanoid rig that I rigged before. And I think there is, let me pause this and grab this character. Let me go find him. Okay, so I found this dude right here who's an enemy in my new game, but he'll be a friend to us here. He'll be our player. So he's just a real simple low poly biped that was rigged up using the same thing as this dude. So he is a humanoid rig. He has his controller. So something I would recommend grabbing for Unity are the sample assets beta. So because it has a bunch of these prefabs that you can use to do cool stuff. So let's go in here. Let's grab this prefab third person player, which is this dude here, right? Okay. So right now we have a camera, but it's not very cool. It's just sitting here, but let me just play this so I can show you what's going on. So you see I just dragged and dropped that player in, right? And I'm going to press play. And now I have an Xbox 360 controller here, so I can control this dude. I think he's supposed to jump too. Okay. So here's a real basic control, right? Right. Now, see this dude's already set up and does this stuff for us, but what do we have to do if, let's say, we want this guy to be controlled by this controller? I mean, it's really complicated. You're going to have to pay me a lot of money to do this. I mean, wow, it must take weeks, and, you know, yeah, probably not. I'd probably just drag and drop it in there. So let's just make sure this is correct. Let's get this dude, reset him. Put him at 000. Let's also reset you. They're all together. Unity. Let's move this dude out of here, just so we can see what happens. So now we're going to combine their power. Actually, no, we're just going to delete this blonde guy and put this guy inside of this hierarchy here. Okay, this is where the magic happens, people. So watch this. Oh my god. Now that easily, now we have this little dude in our controller. Can it get any easier than that? I don't think so. So that's why when people are like, oh, making games is hard of my player control. It's like drag and drop it, auto rig it, mix mo. Okay, so now we have this dude running around being controlled by a joystick. Pretty sweet, right? Isn't that easy? That's why when I saw that, when I first did that, I was shocked and appalled. So now we have this guy, which is tagged our player. That's what we want. Okay. And we have this dude here who's a nav mesh agent, but he's not set up to do anything. So before we do anything else, let's go just put some cubes in here to be some barriers. Why did you go over there, cube? I don't know. Just so we can have some stuff to navigate around, so it's just not flat. Because we're gonna make this guy like walk around and search for that little dude. Our little buzzer baby, that's what he's called. And so yeah, this model is from the game I'm making now, and this one is for one that I'm working on. I got hired to do so, but they are real assets for real games, people. Yeah. So we have those things there, right? Let me figure out the best way to do this. Let me think about it. Okay, we want to create our nav mesh first. So this nav mesh system is part of Unity Pro. So it does not come with the free version. So we want to go to not occlusion culling, navigation. Okay. So the things we want to, so the way, when you're using pathfinding, or I guess there are two different things. So you have a navigation mesh, which when you're using like these AI characters that are using pathfinding, a lot of times, not all of the solutions will make you do this, but you need to define the ground where the AI character can walk around on. So what we're going to do right here is, the way you do it here is that you set it as static. So the stuff that's static, that can't move, you just mark it as static. And then when you go to navigation, you just tell it, yeah, this stuff is static. And then you bake it. And so now this blue stuff is walkable for the AI character, and the other stuff is not. So he'll walk around these. It actually has this cool thing called off mesh link generation. So if you want your AI to jump, so if it was possible, if we set it up, he could be able to jump from these blue pieces to these blue pieces. But yeah, so what we have now, let's get out of here. So now we have a nav mesh for this guy to walk on because he's a nav mesh agent. But we need to give him a goal first, because nav mesh agents need to know where they're going. So in the most simplest way possible, let's give him a target. Let's reset this again, and let's just make him like walk over here. And I just realized I need to install some Playmaker actions for the nav mesh, so hold on. Okay, what I just did was that, so we're going to be using the pathfinding system, and for our Playmaker actions, these two nav mesh agent, these categories of actions aren't installed by default, but they're free and you just have to install them. So what we want to do is get our guy who is our, right, he's our nav mesh AI dude, whatever. So we're going to go into Playmaker and we're going to add an FSM, a finite state machine, onto him, and let's call it driver. And we're not going to actually use this for the final thing. I'm just going to show you how the nav mesh system works real quick. So what we need to do is give him a target. So let's go over here, nav mesh agent, and we want set agent destination as game object. Okay, double click that, and then our target we just drop in there. So now this dude, and then here in the nav mesh agent properties you can set like his speed. So let's let him walk faster. Let's let him do that. And so I guess that'll work. Let's press play. Let's see what happens. So now he's moving too fast, but he's navigating the mesh. Let's make him slower. He's way too fast. Let's make him like a 2. If we press play, now we have him. He's still kind of moving too fast, but you get the point. So, and our little dude's over here. Actually, that's annoying. It's annoying my autistic mind. I have to make him slower. Just, it doesn't work. Okay, there we go. So that's moving about right. And one other thing I forgot to do, let's say you want like a third-person camera following this dude. That is also super easy to do with the same sample assets, beta. So we can go into camera, prefabs, and they have these different ones, handheld, whatever. Let's go to free look camera, and it automatically finds our target of the third person character. So I can go ahead and turn this camera off and check this out. Now if we press play, now we have a third person camera thing following our dude. Right? Pretty sweet. and this dude is on the nav mesh, but you know what? Let's speed up his animation first by like 4 times, because that's just too slow. It's just too damn slow. And let's speed up his walk by like that. Let's see what happens now. He should look all cracked out. Let's see. Okay, that's better. So see, he navigated away between those targets and like walked to that, or between the obstacles and walked to the target. Alright. So that's a real simple thing, right? But let's say we want to make a path for this guy, our AI dude, to walk around like a path points, and then if he sees this guy, he'll chase him. How about that? And for that, we're going to use a new tool that I just got called Behavior Designer, which does behavior trees. So the thing with Playmaker, with this thing, it's super easy and super useful for everything in your game development, I found, in my limited experience, except for AI. Like, it'll do simple AI fine, but if you want like more complex AI, like if you want it to have multiple sensors that are doing stuff at the same time, you can do them in here, but it gets kind of cumbersome because you have to run a bunch of different FSMs and have them talk to each other, whatever. But this Behavior Designer is meant to do that stuff, built to do that stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. So I think I can turn off this machine because we're not going to use that one, and instead let's actually delete it. Okay, but I use Playmaker for everything else. You don't see me using it much in here. I'm just, because in this tutorial I don't really need it, but for everything else I do it. So let's go click on our guy, go into the Behavior Designer interface, and add a new script. So let's say guy AI. Okay, so this is the window for Behavior Designer. So we want to give this dude a behavior tree. But before I do that, let me make our waypoints. So waypoints are really like markers. So let's go from above. It's just in pathfinding and AI stuff, they call waypoints are just, I guess, yeah, like markers, like places that the character in NavMesh or whatever is going to go to. So let's call this waypoint 01. And let's go put another one over here. Let's rename it. Come on, let me rename you. Number 2. And let's do a 3. Okay, and there. Let's do a 4 over here. Okay. So these are 4 places we want this dude to walk from, like walk around these waypoints places, right? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 places. All right, so we're gonna click on him, go into his behavior tree, and so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna make a selector. And what's cool about this asset is that the nodes have a help right here, so they tell you what they do. Okay, and then we want to make a sequence, and check it out. Plug them in there. So you know, I don't know how to code, so this stuff like makes sense to me. And then check this out. They have all these pre-made tasks to do stuff like this. It's a separate pack, but right now when it's like $10 separately, but if you buy it right now, you get this movement pack. So we want can see object, or I guess that's not in the movement pack. Or yeah, it is. Okay, can see object. So what this is going to do, it's going to check if it can see a particular object. And then if we go into the inspector, it's going to say, you know, it's asking us what object. So our object is our player, our third person character. We can sample from all layers. We want a 90-degree field of view. The agent, the distance the agent can see, let's say 20, and then it actually shows us right here. See that? It's showing us his view, and it's asking us to store the object in sight. So that's a transform. So we need to go make a transform variable. Let's call that target. And so when it sees something, when it sees that character, it's going to store it in this variable target. so it has something to target. Alright, so then we're going to go grab another task. So in Playmaker, they're actions, and Behavior Designer, they're tasks. So, and the task we want is Seek. Okay, and then here, it's asking us his speed. Let's just leave his speed at 6. We could change it. Let's just do that. And then it's asking us what the arrive distance is. So it's pretty much when it gets to this distance, stop. Let's just do 4. And then the target transform. So this is the thing it's seeking, which we set that variable as target. So it's going to do this, right? So now these trees run left to right. So by default, it's going to start running. Can it see the object? If it can, seek it, right? But what if it doesn't? What if it can't see it? That's where we want our waypoints to come in. So that is this action patrol. So we plug this in over here. And the speed, let's say you can stay at 6. So, you know, we could have him seek, chase him faster than he's patrolling. Arrive distance 1. And how many waypoints do we want? 4. And then see, you just drag and drop them in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. So, I don't entirely understand all this stuff because it's just, I just started doing it. But, so what we want, this thing is going to run this, and if it returns, so these things can only return success or failure. So if it can't see them, this is just going to quit and go over here and just patrol. But then what if at some point it can see them? Like this isn't going to run anymore because this is a selector, not a parallel. So I just got this sample off the forums for Behavior Designer. Yeah, so if it does see them though, we want it to go back to seek them. So the way you do it, I learned this, is use this abort type both. So, and it's set both as lower priority and self. So pretty much what it does, from my understanding, is that as this is running, it will still keep this in mind, and if this turns true, then it'll jump over to this one. So, and that's what we want. So let me do something. Where can we put this screen? Let's put the game view right here so we can see this at the same time. Behavior Designer. Okay, let's see what happens. So press and play, and this dude is not going anywhere. What is he doing? He is, I don't know what he's doing. Let's see. Oh, he just took off. He's going over there. Can see object. Oh, he's like tweaking out on that can see object. Let's see what the problem is here. Can see object. Object layer 20. Offset target. Seek. What did I do incorrect here? Selector patrol. Let's just turn this off for a second. Let's press play. I've done this before and it worked. I know that it works. Okay, so now he's patrolling, which he's supposed to do. So we can see him patrolling those waypoints. Right, he's going 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe it was freaking him out because he could see too far. So let's go here and make his view distance 10. Or maybe even 6. Object layer, target object, third person character, which is us. Okay. And let's turn this back on. Oops. Alright. View distance 6, 90, blah blah blah. Seek. Target, transform. Let's see, make sure. Object in sight, target. Oh. No, I don't think that's true. Okay, well, let's just see what happens now. Okay, so he's going over there. Alright, now let's see. Is he going to see us? Is he going to seek us? No, he still doesn't like us. Hey, dude, come on. I'm just trying to be your friend. Seek me. I just want to be seeked. Is he seeking me? No, he's standing in place. Okay, so there's a problem with our seek. So let's go look at our seek. Speed, angular speed, arrive distance. Maybe it's that. Transform, target position. Do I need to set that to 0? I don't know. Okay, let's see what happens now. I'm new to this, folks, so, you know, apologize for the technical difficulties. But I totally have this working in my other project. Okay, so his seek, he's seeking by standing in place and doing a lame-ass running man and, like, tweaking out. So, let me see if I can fix this. Okay, so I just had one of the variables I forgot to fill in this target transform, like take the variable from here and put it in there. So now if we go into our little test project, he should wander around the waypoints, and then when he sees our character, he should come after him. Oh no, he's getting us. Oh, he's got us. Oh, bad is happening. And then if he can't see us, he should go back to waypoints. There he goes. That was really hard to fake out, huh? But, I mean, isn't that pretty cool, though, that it's just these couple nodes, right? So, let's see, what's next? Let's, maybe we could throw a light in here. No, let's not do that stuff just yet. Let's try to add some more functionality, because in the new version of Unity, they just added a new UI system that's really easy to use, so let's do that. So first, let's create a game object, and we'll call it our game manager, right? And we're going to use this to keep track of our health. For now, we'll just do health. So let's just make a global variable in Playmaker, which will allow any object, not just the one it's on, to access it. So let's make a global variable. Oh, you can't see it, huh? Sorry. Let's make a float called health. Dink. Yes, thank you. Okay, so now we have a global float variable called health. Alright. So, actually I might not even need this game manager. Let's go on our player character, okay? And we want to make it so, we'll just do it really simple. So when he gets touched by the vampire dude, it'll take one thing of his health or whatever. Actually, yeah, we need the game manager to set his health. So, come here. Alright. So let's go get an action. Set setter float. Set float value, we'll set it to be 10. And the float variable we're setting is health, and then we'll just go from there to here. So it's gonna go to it's gonna set it and then just go to nothing. So I don't even need to do this. So it's only gonna do it once. If I clicked every frame and do it every frame, then we'd want to go to a different state. But it's only gonna do it once when it starts. So when the game starts, we just want it to set the health. Let's name this. Set the health to 10. Okay. So, for our character guy here, this now is going to be, let's see, what does he have on him? Capsule Collider. I guess we could use this Capsule Collider. So, we're just going to use a trigger event. So, let's make this a little bigger. Maybe like that. And say this is a trigger. Actually, no, that'll fuck shit up, because then he won't collide with shit, right? So let's go make a new one. So we'll make a new Capsule Collider. This one will be a trigger. Let's move it up. Okay, and it's like in the same space as the other one. Just make it a little bigger. This will make it easier to hit him, which you probably wouldn't want to do. You want to make it harder to hit him. So, and then on our third person character, where this is, we're going to make another FSM. And we'll call that trigger. And we're going to go grab the trigger event. That. So we're saying when we collide with the tag dangerous, we're going to do a finished, and let's just call this one listen, because that's how I learned from the tutorials. And let's say minus health. Okay, so we're listening for the tag dangerous. Now I didn't tag this guy dangerous yet, so let's go over here. And you are definitely dangerous, sir. You are bad. And does he have a capsule collider on him? No. Let's turn it back on and make it a trigger. Let's go look at it. If we double click him, it should go over there. Okay, so now if anything hits this, actually, does he need a trigger? I don't know. Whatever, we'll see if it works. If anything hits that, it'll do this action. So, okay. So if dangerous, the tag dangerous, which that guy has on him, hits this, it's going to do this. Minus health, and then, so we want, it's called add float, float add, I mean. So the float we want to change is health, and then we just want to go -1. It's called add, but you can just put a minus, and it will subtract it. So every time he gets hit, it will take away some health. And let's say we wanted to play a sound when he gets hit. That's really easy. If I have any sounds in here, but it's just play. Let's go play sound. Blah blah blah. No, audio play. Plays audio clip. No, just play sound. Okay. So if we grab an audio file, which these are ones that come with the preset stuff. I don't even know if I have audio on, do I? Let's turn it on. Okay. Turn it on. So let's choose Crash Hard. I don't know what that is. So when it gets hit, it's going to play a sound. It's probably annoying. It'll probably be all psh, psh, psh. And just to prevent it from repeating all crazy, let's add a wait state in here. So we can make it so he can only get hit. Let's look for the wait action every 1 second. Or 2 seconds. So it won't be the sound, because otherwise the sound will just keep playing. Okay, so it's listening for something to hit this trigger, this collider named dangerous, and when it does, it's going to take 1 from health and play a sound. Now, you're probably wondering, like, wouldn't we want to display the health somehow? And yeah, you know, you're right. You're totally right. And with the new UI in Unity, it's really easy to do that. So let's add a canvas, no, out here, and a UI. It is a slider, I believe. Yeah, so see this slider thing right here? So let's go find it in this strange space here. And we probably want it, oops, I'm like reversed, like over here. I can't, I mean, this aspect ratio is all screwed up. You would not make it like this wide, but I have it like that. So, and for this, we don't need the little handle. We just want this stuff, right? So, handle slide area, fill area, that's the color. Let's make his life yellow, life-giving life. And his slider, I haven't used this for like 2 weeks, so like I already forgot how to use it. So let's make it bigger, like that. And then, since we don't even know what it is, let's put text and 20 and call this life main. Okay, and we just position this here. Now, right now, this isn't doing anything because there's nothing plugged into it, right? So what we do is that we can get the slider. So what we want to do is tie this into that global health variable. And let's look at the slider. I think we have to change the numbers. Yeah, minimum, maximum, 10, value, whole numbers. Okay, 10. All right. So that's just controlling how the slider is going to move. So, all right. So what we want to do is, since I don't know how to code, I'm going to add another Playmaker FSM to this. Let's call this set slider. And let's go look at our actions. Oh, you know what? I got to import them. They do not come with this. Hold on. I have to import these actions. Or you know what? Let me show you how I'm going to get those actions, because Here's another one of the big reasons Playmaker is awesome. So Playmaker is made up of actions, which are like code snippets that allow us non-coders to do stuff. So they have this little add-on called Ecosystem. So it'll let you search through all the add-on actions that people have made. So when we install it, we go to Playmaker Add-ons Ecosystem. Yes, I want to use it. So I know these are part of the UGUI system, the Unity GUI system, so I can just search for Unity GUI stuff and set text, get text, set text. Those aren't the ones I want. Oh, I guess the slider ones have not been put on here yet. So I'll have to go to the forums and grab those. But yeah, for all, like a bunch of other actions, like I'll show you even if we just want those. So other users who can code have like made these, so then you just say get, and then it gives you these actions, and then they're in your actions, and then you can do stuff with them. So let me go find the slider ones. Okay, so I went on the Playmaker forums and grabbed these UGUI actions. They haven't released all of them yet. I guess they're going to do it with the next version of Playmaker 1.8, but there's a couple on there. But importantly, it has the slider one. That's the one we want. So we can go back here, and we want set slider properties. So it's asking us what slider we want to change, the owner, and the value that we want is health. So minimum 0 every frame. So now this is going to be setting the slider. There's an error. I don't see an error. What's the error? What are you talking about? Why is this an error? Oh, because it has this finished state. Okay. Sorry. So now the slider, so what this thing is doing, it's going to grab our global health number, our float, and it's going to update the slider to show us our life being taken. So, hey, what the hell? Why didn't it set our global health? Where's our, oh, our game manager is turned off. It needs to be turned on. Okay. So now we have 10 health, a full bar, right? So if we go touch this dude who's patrolling here, or he comes and gets us, he will start taking our health. Oh, and it plays a crash sound. Run! Hey, why didn't he hit me again? Oh, because I put that 2-second buffer. Well, let's just check it. Let's let him hit us one more time and make sure it really doesn't work. There we go. See the health being taken away? So, I mean, that's like the base of a normal little game, right? And it was like really easy to set up. But let's do one more thing. How about, this is a regular game, we would want our player to have some kind of weapon, right? So let's have him just shoot little balls, projectiles at that dude and hopefully kill him. So let's go in here and find our guy, not that guy, our character. Okay. So we're going to make him shoot balls out of, we could put a gun in his hand or something, but that's kind of complicated right now for this simple tutorial. So let's just have him shoot out of his forehead. So I need to go place a null or something to shoot out of his head. So let's find his head. Okay, so there's his top end of his head. And then if I create a null, let's call this shooter, spelled wrong, totally, and put this on top of his head. And usually when you produce, like we're going to be creating objects, creating bullets, they come out of the Z, so make sure your Z is pointing the right way. So actually let's put it from between his eyes, like that. Okay, so now we have, let's actually spell this right, his shooter. Okay, and then we need to make the thing to be shot. So let's go and get a, spheres are so boring, but I guess I'll do a sphere. Okay, it's too big, rink, like that. Okay, so he's going to shoot these out of his head, right? There's a collider on it. Let's give it a rigid body because we're going to use force to propel it. And let's make it lighter. Let's make it like that. Okay. So we have this. Let's call this bullet. No, not bullet sphere. Okay. And let's make a new layer and call it bullet because we'll use this to tell the enemy that he's being hit. So, yes. Where'd our bullet go? Okay. So, give it that layer. It's layer bullet. Okay, we have this thing. So, let's actually make it a prefab too. So we can just drop it in there. So now this is a prefab. So, now if we press play, this bullet does nothing but fall to the floor. And that's useless. So, since I don't know how to code, I'm going to add an FSM to it. Bullets. So, to move it, we are going to want to add force. That's how you move stuff, if it's like rigid bodies or whatever. So we're going to add force. We want to add it on the Z-axis. Let's try 3. Every frame. Okay, let's see what happens. Press play. Oh, look at that little bullet go. Okay, it was kind of crappy. It just fell. So let's go back to the bullet. It's FSM here. And let's actually make it lighter to 0.01. Use gravity. Do we want? Yeah, we want gravity. Okay. And let's go look at it again. Oh, it moved at the speed of light. That was too fast. Let's try 0.1. Okay, let's give it a little bit. No, actually, you know what? Let's have it have no gravity. And just be like some kind of UFO type bullets. But let's make it slower. So we'll do slower bullets. So we control that here. Let's try 1. We'll have some crappy slow bullets. Just so we can see them work. Okay. So we have the slow bullet. And then if you wanted to add rotation to it, you would add torque. So I'll do that too, even though you won't really see it because it's a sphere. But you can add torque. And you can add it to whatever axis you want. Let's add it to Z10. It's going to spin a lot. So you won't see it, like I said, because there's no textures and it's a sphere. But, or you can see it spinning. Okay. So we have this bullet. And what we're going to do is that we're going to say if this bullet, let's put a trigger on this bullet too, so if it hits the enemy or a wall or whatever, it's going to be destroyed. So let's just say finished, go here, and then trigger event. If it hits dangerous, finished. And I guess I have to do another one for the floor. So if it hits, what are we going to call that? If it hits untagged, does that even work? I don't even know if that works. Okay, that works. That's cool. And then, so for like a real game, you wouldn't want to use destroy self. You'd want to create a pool and actually deactivate game objects, not destroy them and create them, like deactivate them using pools. But for this simple example, I'm just going to use this. So what it'll do, it'll keep adding force until it hits one of these things, either a dangerous thing or an untagged thing, and then it will destroy itself. So, and then let's go ahead and make sure it saved it into the prefab, like that. And we can actually get rid of this bullet now. Because what we want to do here is, let's go to our game manager. So we want to make it so when the player clicks a button, it'll fire a bullet, right? So let's call this firing. And it couldn't get any easier here, could it? We just go button, get button down. Fire 1 is the first mouse click or the first button on a joystick if it finds it. So we're going to say when it's fire, go here, and then we want to fire again, so we're going to go back. And then, like I said, if you're going to do this for real, like for a little test game, you could create and destroy, but if you're doing like a big serious game, you would not want to use create and destroy. You'd want to use a pool. So it's asking us what object do we want to create. So let's go find our bullet prefab, and then where do you want to spawn it? We want to spawn it from the shooter. Okay, and so this should work now. So let's go and see. Fire one, and you can kind of see, right? He's shooting bullets out of his head. So I didn't set it up to hurt that guy yet, though. So let me go do that, because it's a one-way street now. He's just beating us down. So now our guy, who is the count dude, okay. So now we have him, and it's like, you know, a lot of this stuff is just like triggers. So we're going to put another collider on him. Oops, not a character, controller. Remove. We want a capsule collider. So you may be asking yourself, but there's already a capsule collider on here. Oh, it is set to trigger. Oh, duh. Okay, never mind. So you can have colliders when they're not set to trigger. They'll hit stuff and they won't work with trigger actions. And if you set it to trigger, it will recognize it's being hit, but it won't like block things out. It won't make you stop from hitting walls and shit like that. But it'll see it. So this dude already has a trigger on him, so we can go ahead and set up him being shot. So this is a real simple, again, just a trigger action, a trigger event. And what we're going to say is, actually, let's set the dude's health first. We're going to set his health in the first state. So I need to go make a health, guy, health, float. So now we have this variable. And then I want to set a float. See how awesome Playmaker is? Like, you can just search through this stuff. Set float value, guy health. Let's make his health 5. And I want this to be the start state, so it's going to do that, and then now jump into the trigger thing. Okay, so this is trigger. If it collides with a bullet, then do finished. Finish just goes here. We're going to go back, and then now, like you probably guessed, we're just going to do a float add on the guy health and go -1. So every time he gets hit with one of those balls, it's -1. So now he should be able to be oh wait, I didn't set up his destruction, did I? No. Okay. We need to set up his ability to die. So let's go here and like this, and we'll call this state check if dead. Okay, and so what we want here is a float compare, like this, and we want to put our health in here. And so what we're going to check, we're going to compare this to 0. So let me just add a state called die, and actually an event called die, like that, and add it on here like this. Okay, so if it's equal to 0, die. If it's less than 0, die. If it's greater than, finished. Okay, so what this is going to do, after he gets hit, it's going to look at his health and say, is it 0? Yes, die. Is it less than 0? If it's not, go back here, continue living. So, and then if he's dead, destroy himself, and then we'll actually make him explode by, inside of those sample assets, they have an explosion. So we'll go create an explosion, and then we'll just do this simply and say at where he is, at himself. You would want to use variables for this, but I'm just doing this, trying to make it under an hour. So let's do that. So now this dude should be able to get shot and die. But before we do that, I just thought I want to make these bigger so it's easier to hit them. Where'd that bullet go? And then just in case, like, see, like if your player has a collider on it and you're creating things that have rigid bodies or physics on them, they might like hit his head or something. So I'm just going to move his shooter out a little bit too. So now we should be able, oops, shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh, see, they're hitting his own head. Kill him. There he goes. We killed him. We have won the game with our awesome balls of destruction that are all moving over there. Why is that? Oh, they're not. It's just because they don't have gravity. But, yeah. So, and then he had his life going here with the UI. And then we had this behavior thing controlling this dude. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how easy some of this stuff is. So I hope you learned something, or maybe saw that it's like kind of fun to make it. And if you don't know how to code, you want to make games, I would definitely recommend getting Unity plus Playmaker plus Behavior Designer. You probably don't need Behavior Designer right at the start. I was doing Playmaker for probably about 8 months before I hit a wall with AI and got this, but it's something to keep in mind later. But I would just say go grab Unity and Playmaker, and you don't need this nav mesh thing. Like we could have done it with the free version of Unity and not use a nav mesh and just had him walk around these things. The nav mesh thing really is awesome because it recalculates his path, so if stuff goes in his way, it'll figure out how to get around. But you don't have to do that. Like you could, there's a free movement script library called iTween. Here's some of the actions. And you could actually set up a real simple waypoint system, like give an AI dude to walk around stuff using these actions. And in my first couple games, I was not using nav mesh stuff. I just used these simple actions, some other ones in Playmaker. But I've been doing it for almost a year now, so I'm trying to go to the next level, man. So yeah. I'm sick, so I'm not working, so I tried to teach you something. So hopefully it was helpful, and have fun. Go make games. Like, if you can't code, who cares? Make games, and bye.